Hello class, this is Robbie Silver and this is my third rhetorical criticism speech for COM 405. This is a Cancer Remembrance ribbon. It's purple because it represents the passing of my father, who passed away of pancreatic cancer 3 years ago. That particular ribbon is a cancer ribbon. However, there are a wide variety of ribbons that represent hope and remembrance. For the students at Virginia Tech, however, that ribbon represents so much more. In 2007, a student at Virginia Tech opened fire and took the lives of many students, teachers, and faculty. This event was one of the most devastating school shootings in American history. The event inflicted a scar on every community across the nation. It challenged campus security, emergency communication systems, the ability to prevent a tragedy based on inherent warning signs, and according to the consistency theory, it states, when psychological stress exists, attitudes and perceptions are altered. This causes people to take preventative measures and more drastic changes in their life. In the case of the Virginia Tech shooting, parents, teachers, and students reevaluated campus security at schools. Ribbons have been a symbol of hope and remembrance in America. Ribbons are commonly used to remember the ones that we lost to cancer, to support our troops, and to encourage adolescents not to do drugs. In the case of the Virginia Tech shooting, a ribbon was used in their collegiate times to signify a plethora of unanswered questions that the students had following the tragedy. Certain questions that they asked, why us? What will happen to the enrollment rate in the future? How will it affect the incoming freshmen? Will campus ever be safe again? These questions compare to other tragic shootings, like the event that occurred in Aurora, Colorado in 2012. This event in particular hit close to home for me. My cousin Carrie lives in Colorado, and her and her boyfriend were actually on her way to go see that Batman movie that night. It just so happens that they called the movie called the movie theater ahead of time, and they asked if there were still tickets available because of I believe it was one of the opening weekends. Movie theater was busy, so they turned around. Little did they know that they actually avoided a huge tragic event. So that's just an example of how that type of event just kind of hit close to home for me. Something that the press that I remember from that particular story was in every news article that was posted in print and online was a picture of the shooter. And I will always remember that shooter in particular because of his crazy orange hair and his just wide eyes. I think the press portrayed that image across their print and news media outlets just so it can portray basically how a crazy person can do that and to inflict so much pain on others. Going back to the Virginia Tech tragedy, however, this ribbon validates the students' feelings as the questions embedded in the ribbon reflect pain, fear, anger, and even depression. According to the Campbell text, there are 3 principles of visual rhetoric. It asks, is this piece influential? I believe it is, absolutely, because this piece in particular portrays all the unanswered questions and certain questions that may never be answered. So I definitely believe it is influential because we're able to still talk about it today. Also, does it elicit a positive or negative response? I think it elicits a little bit of both. Because of the ribbon by nature, it represents hope and remembrance. However, more on the negative side, that's the questions that were in there. If you go through and start reading them, you can even get depressed yourself. So I think it elicits a negative response as well. And it isn't emotional. As I said, when campus security is challenged and when the students ask, why us? And why does this happen to our friends and our family and our teachers? And will campus ever be safe again? I absolutely think that those types of questions elicit emotional responses.